Good afternoon. We'll go ahead and get started today. I'm going to sub in for Miss Allen. I think she's in traffic. Speaking of, traffic just arrived. I'll start off and I'll transition over to Miss Allen. I want to welcome all our members and guests today. We have a large group today with us from our last EOC meeting of the calendar year. This is our very last one, so I hope everybody's excited about that. I want to begin by recognizing some guests we have. I want to recognize some guests who we have become accustomed to seeing in December every year. They always come down. We're glad to have you all here. Dr. Beth Boyd and Dr. Will McCorkle, both teacher education faculty at the College of Charleston School of Education. If you'll stand, thank you both for being here. And we have some pre-service students studying to be teachers. I was actually on the elevator with many of them, and they're excited to be here. I hope you're as excited at the end because we have a long meeting. But we're excited to have you all here. I hope I get your names right, but these students that are in attendance today: Cannon Green, Caroline Hayes, Kyra Thompson, Michelle Ben Hyen, Annalisa Pfeiffer, Chase Weaver, Ariella Valentine, Catherine Mosley, Malaysia Otero, Sarah Needle, Georgia Nikos, and Gretchen Gilmore. I hope I got all you all, and thank you all for being here today and excited for what you have going forward. I think you have a DC trip ahead of you in the spring, so thanks for being here and hearing what we do at the EOC. I do want to continue on. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes from our October 13th, 2025 full committee meeting?
So moved.
Thank you. Second in a motion. Thank you both so much. We have two presentations today. First, we're joined by Joel Moore, Director of State Relations by the Education Commission of the States. Joel is in South Carolina to give us an overview of what the commission does. So, Joel, thank you.
There we go. I'm green on the microphone now. How is everybody today? Good. Well, I know that you have a lot going on, so thank you for having me and Education Commission of the States here today with you. I know that some of y'all may know my colleague Ben Zimbalin, who's been South Carolina liaison with ECS for the last 3 years. He's moved on to a new position with Excel and Ed, so you all will be seeing a lot more of him over the next, however long he's there. So he is still around, but happy to make your acquaintance, and I'm happy to be your liaison in Ben's absence. So what is Education Commission of the States? In short, we are, let's see, am I able to go forward on the slides? Sorry. Oh, there we go.
Is this working?
I can do it
Sorry
without
about
if
that.
that's
Let's see.
slides. Great. ECS, we are the operating arm of the Interstate Compact for Education. All 50 states, DC, and the territories signed on back in the 1960s with the idea that state-level policy is where education policy should be made, and that there should be some sort of central, nonpartisan clearinghouse where states can learn from one another and one another's experiences. So ECS, we are that nonpartisan, non-advocacy education policy center. We like to say we'll never tell you what to do for your students. You have a very specific context, and you know your families and communities better than anyone else, but we can let you know what other states have tried and what their experiences are. So always happy to help do that. Let's see. What makes us unique beyond that approach to things is that we are the only national education policy group to work all the way across the early learning and care through post-secondary and workforce spectrum, and also the only one who works with every type of education policymaker in the state, whether that's state superintendents, governor's offices, education committee chairs. Happy to work with anyone in the state who touches education policy. Our governance, under the compact, we have as our chair a governor, currently Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon. Vice chair is always a legislator of the opposite party, so that is New Mexico Senator, Senate Ed Chair, Senator Bill Soules. And for those of you who may be adjacent to post-secondary space, Aaron Thompson, who's the Commissioner of Higher Education in Kentucky, currently serves as our organizational treasurer. Also have a great executive committee made up of leaders from around the country who are really engaged in our work and like to see the successes there. So what we do, our policy team, we have a great team of folks who are reading every piece of introduced legislation around the country, tracking that, summarizing that, and making sure that we are able to provide feedback for you all on what's happening around the country. This insight informs our policy releases every month. We have got a number of those that come out every month. These are all available for no cost to you on our website, ecs.org. Some of the most popular of those are our 50-state comparisons, where our policy team will take on a specific topic area, really dive into it. One of our newer ones that's very popular at the moment is our 50-state comparison on K-12 funding that has about 30 data points on everything from type of funding models to weights for things like special education or rural or isolated adjustments. We also have a great one. I know y'all are talking accountability today. Just released a new 50-state comparison on accountability systems around the country with a number of data points that may be of interest. Honestly, it's a lot of information to parse through, so if there's anything that we can pull out for you to make the research easier, please feel free to reach out directly to me. My info will be up on the final slide here in just a moment. Let's see. Beyond that, if there's ever something that we don't have an immediate resource on, you can always reach out to me, and our policy team is usually able to turn around a written response to your question in about 72 hours. So always happy to do that. Folks seem to find it pretty helpful. And beyond that, we like to convene people. We have regular meetings for state superintendents of education, governor's policy advisors, legislative staff. Actually, funny story, met Pierce McNair through the legislative staff forum about 15 years ago when I was a staffer in Colorado, and he's amazing, and y'all are lucky to have him, and I hope his knee is okay. Gosh, poor guy. Let's see. Beyond that, yeah, I just want you to know that ECS is here as a resource for you.
He's here watching you.
Is he? Hi, Pierce.
So he heard the shout out. Yeah.
Great, good. Glad you got it. Finally, we just wanted to share this QR code. It looks like you may be able to access it. This will take you to just a folder of resources that are created for you all to have. There's a one-pager on ECS's supports and services, as well as a clickable one-pager that our policy team created with about 6 or 7 big policy topic areas that were big this year: funding, early care and education, post-secondary workforce pathways, school choice, technology. So links to those items, as well as examples of our information requests and other policy resources. So feel free to check that out. My phone number and email address are up here. It's my cell. Happy to take any sort of requests from you at any point here for you. I should mention also that those are confidential to the extent that you would like them to be. So please feel free to reach out with any questions or areas where we might be able to support you. And with that, hopefully that was quick for you, but happy to take any questions that might be here and look forward to continuing to work with y'all.
Thank you. That was very interesting. I'm particularly selfishly interested in the legislative database and all of that. Because I don't know if you can read lips from that far away, but I turned around today and I'm like, can anybody access that?
Yes.
Yeah, so, thank you. That's very interesting. I'm sure there are lots of questions. I'm going to open it up. Anybody? Not like you guys.
And I'd like to add, Madam Chair, that ECS, he is being accurate when he says that they turn requests around in 72 hours. Usually it's less than that, and it can be complicated questions. They can go in and do research. They have information from all of the states. So if you've got a question about how military readiness is, how that works in other states, they can turn those kind of questions around very quickly. So I encourage you to use them as a resource.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam
we
Chair.
appreciate for you being here. We do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Rep. Alexander. Oh, sure. Sounds good. I'll catch up with you afterwards.
We can pass it back and forth. It's okay. Thank you again. So our second presentation today is Tripp Aldridge, who is the principal at Fort Dorchester High School in Dorchester 2. Dorchester High School is the high school winner of the 2025 Data Trailblazer Award. If you recall, these schools were recognized because of their ability to assist educators in, excuse me, I can't talk this morning, accessing, interpreting, and communicating data while demonstrating improved student outcomes, helping families and caregivers interpret their students' grades and assessment scores and use that knowledge to help their students achieve academic success, establishing and maintaining a culture of school-wide data-informed decision-making with the goal of improved student outcomes, and incorporating practices and policies that prioritize data privacy and ensure school staffs are adequately trained in data security and privacy standards. So with that, we'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, my name is Trip Aldridge. I'm the proud principal of Fort Dorchester High School. We were surprised and excited to be named as the winner, the high school winner for the Data Trailblazer Award. We kind of feel like this is just what we do, and to have it recognized as an award winner was kind of special to us. A couple of caveats to my presentation today. As any good school leader, of course, I'm in charge and responsible for knowing what goes on at my school, but I also empower the others that work for me. Brent Hamrick is not here with me today for good reason. I'm proud to say that he is now principal of his own school for this school year, but he was on the team last year and was the main architect behind putting together, especially some of the Excel spreadsheet stuff that you're going to see, and was our wizard that was making it all happen. So big loss for our team there, but we're super excited for the students at his school that are going to get his expertise. Also wanted to say that I'm not sure that this is the greatest of presentations, maybe. I think the work that we do, I'm not sure how to explain it to you in a fancy presentation form. Just want to dig in and kind of show you what it is that we have. And so if you'll bear with me, this will be a little more informal as we kind of talk through some of the stuff that we look at. I know that our bio is in your packet that you got today, and I think that's an important jumping off point place for you to understand about our school and what's going on. I would issue the challenge that we may be one of the most diverse high schools in the entire state of South Carolina. We have students from one end of the spectrum to the other and everything in between in our school. We often talk about the fact that you can turn left out of our parking lot to the apartment complex or the trailer park next door, or you can turn right and just down the block, students live in $1 million homes on the golf course. And of course, as I mentioned, we have everything in between those as well in our school. And of course, we think that diversity is a strength for us, but it also makes for some interesting times as we try to move everybody and make gains with the entire school. So just a sample of some of the data reporting, and I'll jump in and out of our presentation today to show you some stuff in our Excel document where we track this information. Talk about some of our academic data that we use when we send our stuff in for the award, and go over several of the points that we had recently made in a presentation around that time. So we're tracking our students, their pass rate, success rate in each of their classes. You can see by grade level, the students, how many students were there, the number of courses that those students took, and then whether they passed or failed, and of course the rate percentages for that. We also, at the time that we were pulling this data, we're beginning to look at our quarter one versus quarter two as we rounded out the first semester of the school year to see where we were. In that, we found that students generally do a little bit better in the first semester of the year. I don't know if it's the excitement to be back in school, and then it becomes a little more ho-hum as they go, but we have a slight drop-off typically in second semester. And of course, when we're looking at a semester-based 4x4 semester, most of our classes are in a 4x4 semester base. So we're pulling data, essentially final data for what these students did twice a year. But then for our school year reporting, we're trying to figure out where we stand and what's going to happen when the new numbers come in from that second semester. Looking at our EOC, well, actually, our core content areas, this is all the math courses taken in the school, again, by grade level, the pass rate and failure rate. You can see that our math teachers are pretty fierce. They are tough. I pick on them all the time in our school, but they really believe that they have to remain strong. For math people, they're often concrete thinkers, and it is what it is. There's not a lot of variance for them, and so the students are going to get it or they're not. And so you see as our students come in as freshmen, that's the most difficult spot for them, is passing their freshman math courses and moving through. Moving down to English, you can see they're a little more touchy-feely and nice. Our students tend to do a little better as they pass their English classes overall. You'll also notice in this that most of our number of students and courses taken as we start out in the early years are the same. Then you may see that we have students that are taking multiple courses within a subject area, and that may be because they're trying to double up to move ahead, or they're going back to pick up a course that perhaps they were not successful in before. And so you see as we go down through the grade levels that those increase. Again, here's our science numbers and our social studies numbers as well. And so we track this data to see where that failure rate, where that success rate is. And that's important when we start to look at our school report card data and what we're doing. We have been extremely blessed to have a great graduation graduation rate. We've led our district for several years and been one of the top high schools in the state in terms of that graduation rate. And our HISI, our High School Student Success Indicator, we call it the HISI, as in a hissy fit at our school. The high school success rate, we're looking at that now, and of course trying to make that, we don't have 4 years to give the autopsy at the end, but we want to show what our students are doing each year. So this data is important to see how our students are achieving and moving through that. I'll jump out for just a second and hope and show you. Got trigger happy there. Let's see. Showing you in the data, if we look, we are tracking in our HISI monitoring. Again, that's the High School Student Success Indicator. You can see by 9GR in the top here of the form. I can make this a little bit larger. Well, maybe I can't seem to hit the mark. You can see by 9GR the number of students that are not on grade level and what we're doing. Of course, this data is redacted, so we have